Hey y'all, my name is Wallace. I am a vampire, and today has been an interesting day. You can tell by the way I'm kind of just really tired. Um, you can tell that my voice is kind of like distant and but sweet or whatever. My skin is kind of gaunt. My eyes are kind of like a little bit, not so much crazy, but just like kind of blank and empty. And the reason for all of that, besides not getting enough sleep, which is it's not a big deal, but I spent a lot of time um, in higher vampire transformations today. And by a lot of time, I mean enough time to be made fun of. But I have a lot of energy still. I'm just not using it. I'm choosing to for this documentary type series. I want to show this. So what I'm showing right now is what I this is all terminology that I've come up with. Um, it's like vampire sickness. It's when I pull back from being in a transformation for a prolonged period of time to where it's like the vampire, whatever you want to call it a it's like an animal inside of me, but not like a rabid animal. So it's an intelligent animal. Okay, it's like a type of human being. Let's just say that. Okay, so this type of human being animal, after being in a certain transformation for a period of time, it doesn't want to let go. It says, just let me do. It's like I was thinking about this. It's like riding a roller coaster, and you know how you get on a roller coaster and you're strapped in. You're like, all right, go ahead, and the roller coaster is safe, and it's a ride, right? So I have the ability to pull out of vampire transformations. Um, Thank God. The reason why I say that is that there are downsides to being a vampire transformation. Here's the thing: two major downsides. Three. First is I can't taste food. That's right, I can't taste food. Second is that if I look into a mirror, um, it has like a magical effect. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like that animal I described that's inside of me. It like recoils. It recoils like a hermit crab. Okay, and I don't like it. And clearly I have control. Um, it's like a it's how do I describe it? The way the it's like being imagine having being a person, but there's two people driving. It's like that. And so right now, clearly I sound kind of disjointed or whatever. Like I said, I have the capability to pull up or pull out, to use my energy to get better and recover. But this is vampire sickness. And the reason, and more specifically, that animal, that vampire, subconscious, that thing, call it what you will, call it spiritual, call it a curse, call it whatever, call it a parasite. It's vampire. Call it whatever you want. It ain't happy. So it's like there's like a here. I'm gonna try to snap out of this for a bit so I can clear up. All right, I'm tired. Um, I was at the gym working out and enjoying myself, enjoying kind of letting the vampire part of me out, in a healthy way. That's not. It's like having a pet dog in a way. It's like taking care of a pet dog. and I enjoy it. I enjoy being a vampire, and I enjoy higher level transformations. I know a lot of people who are very people who know me very well and have seen some of my higher transformations, and they're just like, heck yeah, I love you, Wally. I love you how you are. I love your higher transformations. I love the vampire inside of you. I greatly respect you. You're still able to have. You're still you, but you're just. It's like a different version of you. It's like a more powerful version of yourself. And I love you. That's what I hear. But I was working out at the gym, and I go to the gym locker, and I'm not looking. I don't have I don't have my glasses on, and of course I'm very when I'm in a higher level transformation, I'm not like um, I'm very avoidant, very very avoidant because I'm like very respectful, very avoidant, and long story short, I was changing shoes, getting my stuff out of the locker, and I hear two guys talking, being loud and obnoxious. I'm just trying to ignore it, and they start talking about blood and stuff. I'm like, blood this, blood that, blood this, and I'm just like, oh man, it's starting to bother me. Um, the reason why it bothers me is that specifically, I know that they're teasing me about being a vampire, um, which is fine. It didn't get to me. I was like, okay, well, I'm just trying to get out of here. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to say anything, you know. And then they started talking about stealing and stuff and stuff about stealing and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm trying to like my lock was jammed, right? So I was there with my key, opening up the lock, or so I took the lock off the locker with the key, and then I sat down, try because my lock is old, and I had to have the key in the lock and turn it sometimes in order for it to not jam. That's what I was doing. They start, talking about stealing and stuff like that. They're just digging at me over and over again. So I'm just like, didn't say anything, left. Well, I hear him talking. Next thing I know, I walk on the treadmill, go back into the locker room, and, about to leave with all my stuff, and see a, very respectful uh, uh, police officer, you know. I didn't notice, I just, again, I was looking down, being avoidant. I got my stuff. And right before I left, I looked over and I saw a police officer, didn't say anything, just super respectful. And he seemed very nice. I left. It bothers me. Now, I'm being silly right now. It don't look like I'm being silly. It look like I'm being real serious. I can see myself right now. But inside, I am silly. Like, I am able to smile. I'm just really tired and got vampire sickness. The thing is that how it makes me feel is just super duper sad. As soon as those do, like, as soon as those kind of situations happen, and they, usually some maybe a crazy person, says, oh, and they start making fun of, they go, somebody may see my skin glowing, and they might, start teasing me and saying things and go too far, and then, they're, and then suddenly all this craziness, right? I pull back, I pull out of a higher level vampire transformation, and I realize the amount of vampire sickness that I feel right now may be directly proportional to the amount that I pull back. Like I pull all the way back to where I'm just like super duper tired, and it's like I look like I'm sick. But I do it out of fear, healthy fear. Now, here's the thing. I've 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 experimented with just staying in that same situation, I'm at, the same scenario, but I don't pull back. I stay in a higher level vampire transformation. Nothing from my experience, the outcome is nothing. It's just, I'm very neutral, just very, it's like, okay, got my stuff, gonna leave, be avoidant, doesn't bother me. But I think the thing that affected me is the fact that the way in which these gentlemen were bullying me, bullying, if it's a certain way, I'm an alpha male, I can identify when it's bullying. Um, it can lead to more harassment to me. Now, to be fair, um, very well known. I'm very respectful. I'm a funny guy. I'm a nice guy, a nice person. I've got this video series. I'm very transparent. Um, but I realized that I think my mistake, probably shouldn't have pulled back as hard as I did when I did, because the result is me being sick. Again, nothing bad happened, but right now I'm sick, which is not terrible. Like, clearly I enjoy, doesn't, it'll fade away quickly, and it's like not a big deal. I'm home. It's like still, but part of me makes me think, why did my alpha leadership kick in at that point when I'm in a vampire transformation? I think specifically what happened was I was in a vampire transformation. These guys were very loud, talking about blood. It bothered me, rightfully so, made me feel uncomfortable. That was their intention. Like, maybe they're sometimes guys are kind of tease you or whatever because they want to get you to talk and be friendly. Well, it was like that, but in a very, in a way that was over the top. Okay, so it got me, it affected me, made me feel uncomfortable, and it bothered me enough to where my alpha leadership kicked in. And then suddenly I'm thinking like an alpha. There's two guys yelling, their voices were raised, right? And I know I'm being a stickler. I'm being strict. I'm being a stickler. I'm being strict, and that's all signs of being an alpha male who feels like he's been, you know, here I am in a situation. I start thinking, it's like these two guys are yelling. So that's like what I'm hearing, and I hear, derogatory remarks, inadvertent derogatory remarks, and they're being disrespectful. That's what my alpha male hears. So, of course, being an alpha male, gonna gonna not say anything. Like, the way that alpha males usually solve problems is not direct. Like, almost never direct, and never anything that's could endanger their own existence, or anything that would go against the law. So, and being in an alpha male mindset and feeling vampire sickness, feeling sick, not feeling good, I realized that my feelings, you know, this situation that arose that was completely unnecessary. I feel like, thinking like an alpha male. And this very kind, probably busy, uh, officer, and is here, and doing his job, doing a great job, doing the job. And it's just like I feel like all of this is completely unnecessary. But that's just life, you know. But it makes me feel, I'm feeling not great, and now I'm feeling like this sucks, you know. In reality, it's not that big a deal. But at the same time, it's like uh, it's really not that big a deal. But I feel bad. And I think like if that situation happens again, or something similar to that happens again, someone's harassing me, and it was harassment. It wasn't just two guys talking. It was harassment. Um, I think I think the right decision is just to stay in a higher level vampire transformation and just kind of blank, not like kind of just like not so much ignore it, but ignore it. It's like I can hear it. They're trying to get under my skin and they're doing all these things, but um, I think it's just been a long time since I've been in a higher level transformation that I was like not entirely unsure. Like, but I was like, I don't know. It's like, have you ever spent time being a certain way for so long? Like, I do alpha leadership like every day, so I'm like, I'm used to it, right? It's like my go-to. But I think in that situation, that was incorrect to go into alpha leadership. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And probably those two guys were they misread me. Here I am looking like a vampire, being avoidant, you know, and then suddenly, I'm acting different, and that maybe they didn't pick up on. I know it could be easily misread when I turn into an alpha, right? Go into the leadership mode. So you shouldn't harass people. Period. Like I know that young guys, especially young guys, probably were working out, and they're a lot of testosterone, but like harassing people in general, there's a difference between teasing people or talking to get someone, perk someone's interest so that they start speaking as well and join a conversation, and then there's a fine line between that and bullying. So, but again, freedom of speech. But starting to feel a lot better. Sickness is going away. I do need to spend more time in higher level transformations to get used to it. Um, there are like many advantages. Like I said, it's like having two people at the wheel driving a car, and I'm the car, and it's just for me, like the attention is something I need to adapt to. You know, like how it's like when I spend time as an alpha leadership mode. I realize that it's a cycle, to be an alpha and then to relax and then to be in different type of leadership mode as an alpha and then relax. It's like a cycle to remain healthy. I need more. I want to spend more time as a higher level transformation of vampire. Am I dangerous? No. I'm hermit crab. Are hermit crab dangerous? No. Hermit crabs go into their crab shell. Uh, I'm a magical creature. Okay, so imagine going to a crab shell. That's magical. It's that. That's one thing about vampires. Vampires are very. One of the things about being mysterious creatures is that they want to be left alone, but it's, they're very avoidant. Vampires are very avoidant, unless they're not being avoidant. In that case, and like today, I felt like being alone, and it's more. I'm just like, because being it's the fact that I feel anxiety, and not because for any reason regarding specifically the transformation of being a high level vampire, but just anxiety about how people being around people, because just because I'm just that's just normally how I am. Like just as just a normal dude, everyday Joe, I have anxiety, and it's because I don't spend time, and I realize this today. The vampire inside of me. I talk about being in conflict. Well, part of the reason why I'm in conflict is that the hermit crab wants to come out of the shell, and I'm constantly saying no, not gonna, just gonna do lower level vampire stuff, in conflict, super anxiety, not being able, not wanting, like feeling blocked off from doing things I enjoy and want to do. It's like the vampire inside of me being all not sassy, but pissy towards me. Like this is like it's real. People talk about vampirism as a curse. It is in a way. It's like to me, it's like being in a relationship. It's like you're in a relationship with another person. You treat the person right, you know, and clearly I have not been, and I realize that today. And like even in the higher level transformation, there are times where I'm just just feeling anxiety just as a common norm, and I start pulling back, and I realize that like uh, I start like like I realize that I started to it's like the vampire side of me was like um, when it was at the wheel, so to speak. You know, I would feel anxiety and notice that like I'm embarrassing myself. It's like it was upset. It's like stop having anxiety. Like trust me, trust me, trust me. Stop. And that's the way that it was communicating with me. Uh, not through words, but through feeling. It's like a subconscious. So I think it's a really interesting video, regarding this. And I don't like being in higher level transformations for several reasons. I like to taste food. Clearly, it's like being a different animal. It's like being a. I talk about being an alpha male, different animal. Being a vampire is a different animal. Still human, still Wally. But it's, believe it or not, honestly, but it's real. It's real. And I do believe in God. I pray to God, pray to Jesus Christ. Did that several times a day, not because I felt like I needed to, because I wanted to. You know, so all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching the video. I'm just relax for a bit and just get a little bit of rest. I think today was a good day. All right, thanks, y'all.